The body keeps the score. Brain, mind, and body in the healing of trauma by Bessel van der Kolk. Welcome to this video summary of The Body Keeps the Score. Brain, mind, and body in the healing of trauma by Bessel van der Kolk. This groundbreaking book delves deep into the complex impact of trauma on both the human psyche and body. Bessel van der Kolk, a renowned psychiatrist and trauma expert, brings together decades of clinical experience with cutting-edge research in neuroscience. The result is a comprehensive look at how trauma affects individuals and how they can recover. The book is structured to guide us through the evolution of understanding and treating trauma. It starts with an exploration of what trauma is and how it affects the brain and body. Van der Kolk explains that trauma isn't just a psychological experience. It leaves a deep imprint on the body as well. He highlights the brain's fight or flight response and how traumatic experiences can disrupt normal functioning, leading to various symptoms and behavioral issues. One of the key concepts Van der Kolk introduces is that the body keeps the score of traumatic experiences. This means that even when the mind tries to forget or suppress traumatic memories, the body retains these memories. They can manifest as physical pain, tension, and other health issues. Van der Kolk illustrates this with numerous case studies and personal anecdotes from his extensive clinical practice. The book also explores how trauma affects different aspects of life, including emotions, relationships, and even one's sense of self. Van der Kolk discusses how trauma can lead to dissociation, a phenomenon where individuals feel detached from their bodies or reality. This detachment can severely impact one's ability to function and form healthy relationships. Van der Kolk dives into the science behind trauma, explaining how it alters brain structures and functions. He discusses the roles of the amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex in processing and storing traumatic memories. This scientific insight is crucial for understanding why trauma is so pervasive and challenging to overcome. In the latter part of the book, Van der Kolk focuses on various treatment approaches for trauma. He emphasizes the importance of integrating body-focused therapies, such as yoga, eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing, and neurofeedback into traditional talk therapy. Since trauma is stored in the body, effective treatment must involve both physical and psychological interventions. Throughout the book, Van der Kolk advocates for a holistic approach to trauma treatment. He stresses the need for a supportive and empathetic therapeutic environment where individuals feel safe to explore and process their traumatic experiences. He also highlights the importance of community and social support in healing from trauma. The Body Keeps the Score is not just a scientific exploration, but also a deeply human one. Van der Kolk's writing is compassionate and empathetic, reflecting his dedication to helping individuals heal from the devastating effects of trauma. The book is both informative and inspiring, offering hope and practical guidance for those affected by trauma and those who support them. In summary, The Body Keeps the Score is a groundbreaking work that reshapes our understanding of trauma and its treatment. Van der Kolk's insights into the connections between the brain, mind, and body provide a new framework for addressing the complexities of trauma. This book is an essential read for mental health professionals, trauma survivors, and anyone interested in the profound impact of trauma on human lives. The 5 most important lessons from The Body Keeps the Score. Lesson 1. Trauma is stored in the body. One of the central ideas in the book is that trauma isn't just a psychological phenomenon. It's deeply embedded in the body. Van der Kolk explains that traumatic experiences can cause lasting changes in both the brain and body, often showing up as chronic pain, tension, and other physical symptoms. This means we need to address the physical aspects of trauma in treatment, not just the psychological ones. Recognizing that the body holds onto trauma can lead to more effective and comprehensive healing strategies. Lesson 2. The brain's response to trauma. The book provides detailed insights into how trauma affects brain function and structure. Key areas like the amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex are crucial in processing and storing traumatic memories. Trauma can hyperactivate the amygdala, impair the hippocampus, and disrupt the prefrontal cortex. This explains why trauma survivors might experience heightened anxiety, flashbacks, and difficulty regulating emotions. Understanding these changes highlights the need for treatments that can help rewire these brain pathways. Lesson 3. Importance of body-focused therapies. Van der Kolk advocates for incorporating body-focused therapies into trauma treatment. Techniques like yoga, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, and neurofeedback are shown to be effective in helping trauma survivors reconnect with their bodies and process traumatic memories. These therapies can restore a sense of control and safety in the body, which is essential for healing. The key takeaway here is that talk therapy alone may not be enough. Incorporating physical and experiential therapies can lead to more holistic and lasting recovery. Lesson 4. The role of relationships and community. Another significant lesson is the critical role of relationships and social support in healing from trauma. Trauma often leads to isolation and difficulties in forming healthy relationships. Van der Kolk emphasizes the importance of building a supportive and empathetic community around trauma survivors. Safe and trusting relationships provide a foundation for healing. This lesson highlights the necessity of fostering supportive environments, both in therapeutic settings and in broader social contexts. Lesson 5. Holistic and integrative approaches to treatment. Van der Kolk's work advocates for a holistic approach to trauma treatment that integrates various therapeutic modalities. This approach recognizes that trauma affects multiple aspects of a person's life: emotional, physical, and social. Effective treatment should, therefore, address all these dimensions. Combining talk therapy with body-based therapies, mindfulness practices, and creative expressions like art or music therapy can provide a more comprehensive path to healing. This integrative model moves beyond traditional psychotherapy to embrace a wider array of healing practices, acknowledging the complexity of trauma recovery. These 5 lessons from the body keeps the score offer a transformative understanding of trauma and its treatment. By recognizing the profound impact of trauma on both the mind and body, and advocating for integrative and supportive treatment approaches, Bessel van der Kolk provides a roadmap for more effective and compassionate trauma care. Lesson 1. Trauma is stored in the body, an in-depth exploration. The physiological impact of trauma. When someone experiences a traumatic event, their body's natural fight or flight response is activated. This response is managed by the autonomic nervous system, which prepares the body to either confront or flee from danger. The sympathetic nervous system kicks in, releasing stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, increasing heart rate and tensing muscles. While this response helps us deal with immediate threats, chronic activation due to unresolved trauma can lead to long-term physiological changes. Van der Kolk explains that trauma can cause the body to remain in a state of hyperarousal or hypervigilance. This means The person is constantly on edge, ready to respond to perceived threats. This chronic state of readiness can result in various physical symptoms, including muscle tension, headaches, gastrointestinal issues, and chronic pain. Essentially, the body becomes stuck in the trauma, unable to return to a state of calm. Neurobiological changes. Trauma also leads to significant changes in brain structure function. The amygdala, which detects threats and activates the fight or flight response, becomes hyperactive in trauma survivors. This hyperactivity means that even harmless stimuli can be perceived as threats, leading to heightened anxiety and fear responses. The hippocampus, which plays a crucial role in forming and retrieving memories, is often impaired by trauma. Chronic stress and elevated cortisol levels can damage the hippocampus, making it difficult to form new memories and integrate traumatic memories into a coherent narrative. This results in fragmented, intrusive memories that haunt trauma survivors as the brain struggles to process and store these experiences correctly. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thought, decision-making, and emotional regulation, also suffers due to trauma. Reduced activity in this area can impair an individual's ability to regulate emotions and impulses, leading to difficulties in concentration, impulsivity, and emotional dysregulation. This makes it even harder for trauma survivors to function effectively in daily life. The body's memory of trauma. One of the most compelling aspects of van der Kolk's work is the idea that the body retains memories of traumatic experiences. Even when the conscious mind tries to suppress or forget these memories, the body holds on to them, manifesting in physical symptoms. This is often referred to as somatic memory. Somatic memory can present as chronic pain, tension, and other unexplained physical ailments that persist long after the traumatic event. Van der Kolk illustrates this with numerous case studies, showing how trauma survivors often experience physical sensations related to their trauma. For example, a person who was physically assaulted might develop chronic pain or tension in areas of the body that were harmed during the assault. These physical manifestations underscore the importance of addressing the body's role in storing traumatic memories. Therapeutic implication. Understanding that trauma is stored in the body has profound implications for treatment. Traditional talk therapy, which focuses on processing traumatic memories and emotions through verbal expression, may not be sufficient for many trauma survivors. Since the body holds on to trauma, effective treatment must also involve the body. Van der Kolk advocates for the integration of body-focused therapies into trauma treatment. Techniques like yoga, EMDRI movement desensitization, and reprocessing, and neurofeedback have shown to be effective in helping trauma survivors reconnect with their bodies and process traumatic memories. Yoga helps individuals become more aware of their bodies and physical sensations, promoting a sense of safety and control. EMDR involves stimulating the brain's information processing system to help reprocess traumatic memories, often reducing emotional distress and physical symptoms. Neurofeedback involves training the brain to self-regulate through real-time monitoring of brain activity, helping reduce symptoms of hyperarousal and improving emotional regulation. Conclusion: the lesson that trauma is stored in the body fundamentally reshapes our understanding of trauma and its treatment. Bessel van der Kolk's insights into the physiological and neurobiological impacts of trauma highlight the need for a holistic approach to healing that addresses both the mind and body. By recognizing that the body retains traumatic memories, we can develop more effective treatment strategies that encompass body-focused therapies alongside traditional talk therapy. This integrative approach offers hope for trauma survivors, providing a path to healing that acknowledges and addresses the profound ways in which trauma is embedded in the body. Lesson 2. The brain's response to trauma, understanding and healing. The amygdala, the brain's alarm system. First, let's talk about the amygdala, the brain's alarm system. This small, almond-shaped structure plays a crucial role in detecting threats and activating our fight or flight response. When someone experiences a traumatic event, the amygdala becomes hyperactive, releasing stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. This prepares the body to confront or flee from danger. For trauma survivors, the amygdala often remains in a state of hyperactivity, even long after the event has passed. This means the brain is always on high alert, ready to respond to perceived threats. Everyday stimuli that are non-threatening to others can trigger intense fear and panic, leading to heightened anxiety, hypervigilance, and exaggerated startle responses. The hippocampus, memory, and integration. Next, we have the hippocampus, a critical brain structure involved in forming and retrieving memories. The hippocampus helps contextualize experiences, placing them within a coherent narrative. However, trauma can significantly impair its function. Chronic stress and elevated cortisol levels can damage the hippocampus, making it hard to process and store memories effectively. As a result, traumatic memories may remain fragmented and intrusive. Survivors often experience flashbacks, where they relive traumatic events with vivid sensory details and intense emotions. Instead of being processed and stored as past events, these memories stay ever present, causing ongoing distress. The prefrontal cortex, rational thought and emotional regulation. Now, let's discuss the prefrontal cortex, located in the front part of the brain. It's responsible for higher-order functions like rational thought, decision-making, and emotional regulation. The prefrontal cortex helps modulate the response of the amygdala and other emotional centers of the brain. Trauma can significantly impair the prefrontal cortex function. The stress and hyperarousal associated with trauma can lead to reduced activity in this area, making it difficult for survivors to regulate their emotions and impulses. This often manifests as difficulty concentrating, impulsivity, and emotional dysregulation, complicating the survivor's ability to function effectively in daily life. Dissociation, a coping mechanism. In response to overwhelming trauma, some individuals may experience dissociation, a coping mechanism where they detach from their bodies or reality. Dissociation can range from mild daydreaming to severe forms, such as dissociative identity disorder. This detachment serves as a protective mechanism, allowing individuals to distance themselves from the pain and terror of the traumatic event. However, frequent dissociation can have long-term negative effects. Individuals may feel disconnected from their bodies and emotions, making it challenging to form healthy relationships and engage fully in life. Neuroplasticity and healing. Despite the profound impact of trauma on the brain, Kolk emphasizes that healing is possible through the brain's inherent capacity for neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. With appropriate treatment, trauma survivors can rewire their brains and reduce the symptoms of trauma. Several therapeutic approaches leverage neuroplasticity to facilitate healing. Eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing, EMDR, is one such therapy that helps reprocess traumatic memories by stimulating the brain's information processing system. EMDR involves recalling traumatic memories while simultaneously engaging in bilateral stimulation, like eye movements, which helps integrate and diminish the emotional intensity of these memories. Neurofeedback is another technique that uses neuroplasticity to train the brain to self-regulate. By providing real-time feedback on brain activity, neurofeedback helps individuals develop healthier brain patterns, reducing symptoms of hyperarousal and improving emotional regulation. Body-focused therapies. Given the profound impact of trauma on the brain, Kolk advocates for incorporating body-focused therapies into treatment. Practices like yoga, mindfulness, and somatic experiencing help trauma survivors reconnect with their bodies and develop a sense of safety and control. Yoga, for instance, emphasizes breath control, physical postures, and mindfulness, helping individuals become more aware of their bodies and physical sensations. This awareness can foster a sense of grounding and presence, reducing the impact of traumatic memories. Mindfulness practices similarly encourage individuals to focus on the present moment, helping break the cycle of rumination and intrusive thoughts that often accompany trauma. Conclusion: understanding the brain's response to trauma is essential for recognizing the pervasive and lasting effects of traumatic experiences. Bessel van der Kolk's insights into the roles of the amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex provide a comprehensive framework for understanding why trauma survivors experience a wide array of symptoms. These insights also underscore the importance of targeted and effective treatment approaches that leverage neuroplasticity and incorporate body-focused therapies. By addressing the brain's response to trauma, we can develop more effective strategies for healing and offer hope to those affected by the profound impact of trauma. Lesson 3: the importance of body-focused therapies in trauma treatment. Understanding the limits of traditional talk therapy. Talk therapy, or psychotherapy, has long been the cornerstone of mental health treatment. It involves verbal communication between the therapist and the client to uncover and process traumatic memories and emotions. While this approach can be effective, it often falls short when dealing with the full impact of trauma. Trauma survivors frequently experience dissociation, flashbacks, and intense bodily sensations that aren't easily addressed through talk therapy alone. Van der Kolk explains that trauma can cause changes in brain function and structure, particularly in areas responsible for language and memory. This can make it difficult for survivors to articulate their experiences and emotions. Moreover, trauma often leads to somatic symptoms like chronic pain, tension, and gastrointestinal issues, which aren't directly addressed by talk therapy. To truly heal from trauma, it's essential to engage the body in the therapeutic process. The body remembers somatic memory and trauma. One of the core concepts in Van der Kolk's work is that the body retains memories of traumatic experiences. This phenomenon, known as somatic memory, means the body holds onto the physical sensations and responses associated with trauma. These memories can manifest as chronic pain, muscle tension, and other physical symptoms long after the traumatic event has passed. Somatic memory underscores the need for therapies that address the body's role in storing and expressing trauma. Body-focused therapies. An overview. Body-focused therapies involve techniques and practices that directly engage the body to promote healing. These therapies recognize that trauma is stored not just in the mind, but also in the body, making it crucial to address the physical aspects of trauma for recovery. Let's look at some effective body-focused therapies for treating trauma. Yoga, reconnecting with the body. Yoga combines physical postures, breath control, and mindfulness to promote physical and mental well-being. Kolk highlights yoga as a powerful tool for trauma recovery because it helps individuals reconnect with their bodies and develop a sense of safety and control. Trauma survivors often feel disconnected from their bodies, experiencing sensations of numbness or hyperarousal. Yoga encourages awareness of bodily sensations and promotes a state of calm and relaxation, counteracting hyperarousal. Yoga also helps regulate the autonomic nervous system, which is often dysregulated in trauma survivors. Through breath control and mindful movement, individuals can activate the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting relaxation and counteracting the stress response. This regulation can reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, and chronic pain associated with trauma. EMDR, reprocessing traumatic memories. EMDR, or eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, involves recalling traumatic memories while engaging in bilateral stimulation, like guided eye movement. This process helps reprocess and integrate traumatic memories, reducing their emotional intensity and associated physical symptoms. EMDR leverages the brain's natural information processing system, promoting neuroplasticity and facilitating the healing of trauma. Kolk's research shows that EMDR can be particularly effective for trauma survivors who struggle with intrusive memories and flashbacks. By reprocessing these memories in a controlled and safe environment, individuals can reduce the distress they cause and diminish their impact on daily life. EMDR also addresses the physical sensations associated with traumatic memories, helping individuals release somatic memory and reduce bodily symptoms. Somatic experiencing, releasing trauma from the body. Somatic experiencing, developed by Peter Levine, aims to release trauma stored in the body. This approach involves increasing awareness of bodily sensations and allowing the body to complete the fight or flight responses that were interrupted during the traumatic event. By focusing on physical sensations and movements, individuals can discharge the energy associated with trauma and restore balance and regulation. Somatic experiencing helps trauma survivors reconnect with their bodies in a safe and controlled manner. By gently guiding individuals to explore and release bodily sensations, this therapy can reduce symptoms of hyperarousal, dissociation, and chronic pain. Somatic experiencing also promotes resilience and a sense of empowerment, helping individuals regain control over their bodies and their lives. Neurofeedback, training the brain for self-regulation. Neurofeedback involves monitoring brain activity in real time and providing feedback to help individuals learn to self-regulate their brain function. This approach can be particularly beneficial for trauma survivors, as it targets the brain's underlying dysregulation. By training the brain to produce more stable and regulated patterns of activity, neurofeedback can reduce symptoms of hyperarousal, improve emotional regulation, and enhance overall brain function. Kolk's work highlights the effectiveness of neurofeedback in promoting neuroplasticity and facilitating the healing of trauma. By providing real-time feedback on brain activity, neurofeedback helps individuals develop greater awareness and control over their brain function. This increased self-regulation can lead to reduced anxiety, improved mood, and enhanced cognitive function, supporting overall recovery from trauma. Integrating body-focused therapies into trauma treatment. Integrating body-focused therapies into trauma treatment is essential for addressing the full impact of trauma on the mind and body. Kolk advocates for a holistic approach that combines traditional talk therapy with body-focused practices to promote comprehensive healing. This integrative approach recognizes that trauma affects multiple dimensions of an individual's life: emotional, physical, and social. And therefore, effective treatment must address all these dimensions. Therapists and mental health professionals can incorporate body-focused therapies into their practice by obtaining specialized training and certification in approaches such as yoga, EMDR, somatic experiencing, and neurofeedback. By offering a range of therapeutic modalities, practitioners can provide personalized and effective treatment plans that meet the unique needs of each trauma survivor. Conclusion: the importance of body-focused therapies in trauma treatment cannot be overstated. Bessel van der Kolk's groundbreaking work in the body keeps the score, underscores the need to engage the body in the healing process to address the full impact of trauma. By recognizing that trauma is stored in the body and incorporating therapies that directly engage the body, mental health professionals can offer more comprehensive and effective treatment. Practices such as yoga, EMDR, somatic experiencing, and neurofeedback provide powerful tools for helping trauma survivors reconnect with their bodies, regulate their nervous systems, and ultimately achieve lasting recovery. Through the integration of body-focused therapies, we can offer hope and healing to those affected by the profound and pervasive impact of trauma. Lesson 4. The role of relationships and community in healing trauma. Trauma and isolation. Trauma often leads to a profound sense of isolation. Individuals who have experienced trauma may feel disconnected from themselves and others, struggling with feelings of shame, guilt, and mistrust. This isolation can be worsened by the stigma surrounding mental health and trauma, discouraging people from seeking help. Symptoms like hypervigilance, emotional numbing, and dissociation make it even harder for survivors to engage in meaningful relationships. Van der Kolk emphasizes that this isolation isn't just a social issue, it's also physiological. Trauma affects the brain's ability to connect with others, impairing areas responsible for empathy, trust, and emotional regulation. Therefore, addressing relationships is crucial in trauma treatment. The healing power of relationships. Healthy relationships offer a sense of safety, trust, and validation, essential for trauma survivors to feel secure and understood. Let's look at how relationships contribute to healing. Attachment and safety. Secure attachment relationships, whether with a partner, family member, or therapist, provide a foundation of safety and trust. For trauma survivors, forming secure attachments can be challenging due to past experiences of betrayal and harm. However, these relationships are vital for creating stability. A secure attachment allows individuals to explore their traumatic experiences within a safe and supportive context, reducing isolation and promoting healing. Emotional support and validation. Trauma survivors often struggle with intense emotions like fear, anger, and sadness. Supportive relationships offer a space for these emotions to be expressed and validated. When survivors feel heard and understood, they are more likely to process their emotions and integrate their experiences. Emotional support helps reduce the burden of carrying traumatic memories alone and provides a buffer against distress. Co-regulation and healing. Co-regulation is the process by which individuals regulate their emotions and physiological states through interactions with others. Trauma can dysregulate the nervous system, leading to chronic states of hyperarousal or hypoarousal. Supportive relationships facilitate co-regulation, where the presence of a calm and empathetic person can help stabilize the survivor's nervous system, reducing anxiety and promoting a sense of calm and safety. Modeling healthy relationships. Many trauma survivors have experienced dysfunctional or abusive relationships that have distorted their understanding of healthy interactions. Supportive relationships serve as models for healthy interactions, demonstrating trust, empathy, and mutual respect. By experiencing and observing positive relational dynamics, survivors can learn to form and maintain healthier relationships, breaking the cycle of trauma and abuse. The role of community in healing. Beyond individual relationships, the broader community plays a significant role in trauma recovery. Communities provide a sense of belonging, purpose, and connection that are essential for healing. Kolk emphasizes that healing from trauma is not just an individual endeavor, but a communal one. Social support networks. A supportive community offers a network of individuals who can provide various forms of assistance, from emotional support to practical help. Social support networks can include friends, family, colleagues, and support groups. These networks provide a sense of belonging and reduce the isolation that often accompanies trauma. Knowing that there are people who care and are available to help can significantly enhance a survivor's resilience and ability to cope. Shared experiences and empathy. Communities, especially those formed around shared experiences, offer a unique form of empathy and understanding. Support groups for trauma survivors provide a space where individuals can share their stories and feel understood by others who have had similar experiences. This shared empathy fosters a sense of connection and reduces feelings of alienation, normalizing the experiences and symptoms of trauma. Collective healing practices. Many cultures have collective healing practices that involve community participation, such as rituals, ceremonies, and group activities. These practices provide a sense of continuity, tradition, and collective support that are beneficial for trauma recovery. Collective healing practices emphasize the importance of connection to others, to the community, and to cultural or spiritual traditions, enhancing a sense of identity and purpose. Advocacy and social change. Communities can also play a crucial role in advocating for the rights and needs of trauma survivors. Advocacy efforts can include raising awareness about trauma, reducing stigma, and promoting policies that support mental health and trauma recovery. By addressing the systemic and societal factors that contribute to trauma, communities can create a more supportive environment for survivors and foster broader social change. The therapeutic relationship. In therapy, the relationship between the therapist and the client is a cornerstone of the healing process. Kolk underscores the importance of a therapeutic relationship based on trust, empathy, and safety. The therapist provides a secure base from which the client can explore their traumatic experiences, emotions, and memories. A strong therapeutic alliance can significantly enhance the effectiveness of trauma treatment and support the client's journey toward recovery. Therapists can facilitate healing by creating a safe environment. Establishing a safe and non-judgmental therapeutic space is essential for trauma survivors to feel secure enough to explore their experiences. Building trust. Trust is fundamental in the therapeutic relationship. Consistent, reliable, and empathetic interactions help build trust, crucial for clients who may have experienced betrayal and harm in past relationships. Empathy and validation. Providing empathy and validating the client's experiences and emotions helps reduce feelings of shame and self-blame. Empathy fosters a sense of connection and understanding. Facilitating connection, therapists can help clients develop and strengthen their support networks, encouraging them to build relationships and engage with their communities. Conclusion: the role of relationships and community in healing trauma is a fundamental aspect of Bessel van der Kolk's work in The Body Keeps the Score. Trauma often isolates individuals, severing their connections to others and impairing their ability to form healthy relationships. Rebuilding these connections is crucial for recovery, as supportive relationships and a nurturing community provide the safety, trust, and validation necessary for healing. Individual relationships offer attachment, emotional support, and co-regulation, while the broader community provides social support, shared empathy, collective healing practices, and advocacy. In therapy, the therapeutic relationship is a cornerstone of the healing process, fostering safety, trust, empathy, and connection. By emphasizing the importance of relationships and community, van der Kolk offers a holistic approach to trauma treatment that recognizes the profound impact of connection and support in the journey toward healing. Lesson 5: Holistic and Integrative Approaches to Trauma Treatment. Understanding the complexity of trauma. Trauma affects individuals on multiple levels: physically, psychologically, emotionally, and socially. It can lead to symptoms like anxiety, depression, dissociation, chronic pain, and relational difficulties. These symptoms are interconnected, with trauma impacting brain function, body physiology, emotional regulation, and social interaction. Recognizing this complexity is essential for developing effective treatment strategies that address all aspects of an individual's experience. Van der Kolk's research shows how trauma can alter brain structures like the amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex. Additionally, trauma is stored in the body, manifesting as physical symptoms and somatic memory. This interconnected nature of trauma highlights the need for a holistic approach that can address its multifaceted impact. The limitations of traditional talk therapy. Traditional talk therapy, or psychotherapy, focuses on verbal communication between the therapist and the client to process traumatic memories and emotions. While beneficial, it often doesn't fully address the physiological and somatic aspects of trauma. Survivors may struggle to articulate their experiences and emotions due to changes in brain function. Physical symptoms, like chronic pain and muscle tension, also need direct engagement with the body for effective treatment. Components of a holistic and integrative approach. A holistic and integrative approach to trauma treatment involves combining various therapeutic modalities to address the full spectrum of trauma's impact. Here are some key components. Body-focused therapies. These therapies are essential for addressing the physiological and somatic aspects of trauma. They directly engage the body to promote healing and regulation. Yoga combines physical postures, breath control, and mindfulness to promote physical and mental well-being. Yoga helps trauma survivors reconnect with their bodies, develop body awareness, and regulate their nervous systems. Somatic experiencing, developed by Peter Levine, it focuses on releasing trauma stored in the body by increasing awareness of bodily sensations and allowing the body to complete interrupted fight or flight responses. EMDR, movement desensitization and reprocessing, involves recalling traumatic memories while engaging in bilateral stimulation, such as guided eye movements, to reprocess and integrate these memories. Neurofeedback provides real-time feedback on brain activity to help individuals learn to self-regulate their brain function, reducing symptoms of hyperarousal and improving emotional regulation. Mindfulness and meditation. These practices promote present moment awareness and help individuals develop a non-judgmental attitude toward their thoughts and emotions. Mindfulness and meditation can reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, and dissociation by enhancing self-awareness and promoting relaxation. Creative and expressive therapies. These therapies provide alternative ways for individuals to express and process their traumatic experiences, engaging the creative parts of the brain. Art therapy uses visual art materials to create images representing feelings, thoughts, and experiences, providing a safe space for self-expression. Music therapy uses music to address emotional, cognitive, and social needs. It can involve listening to music, playing instruments, or composing songs. Dance/movement therapy uses movement to promote emotional, cognitive, and physical integration, helping individuals express themselves through movement. Alternative and complementary therapies. These therapies support the healing process by promoting relaxation and reducing physical symptoms associated with trauma. Acupuncture involves inserting thin needles into specific points on the body to stimulate energy flow and promote healing. Massage therapy uses touch to manipulate the muscles and soft tissues of the body, helping release tension and promote relaxation. Energy healing. Practices like Reiki and healing touch focus on balancing the body's energy fields. Integrating traditional and alternative approaches. Integrating traditional talk therapy with body-focused, experiential, and alternative therapies requires a collaborative and flexible approach. Mental health professionals can work together to create personalized treatment plans that address the unique needs of each trauma survivor. This approach recognizes that no single therapy is sufficient to address the complexity of trauma, and that a combination of modalities can provide the most comprehensive and effective treatment. The role of the therapeutic relationship. A holistic and integrative approach also emphasizes the importance of the therapeutic relationship. The relationship between the therapist and the client is crucial for the healing process. A strong therapeutic alliance, based on trust, empathy, and safety, enhances the effectiveness of all therapeutic modalities. The therapist provides a secure base from which the client can explore their traumatic experiences and develop new coping strategies. Therapists can facilitate healing by creating a safe and non-judgmental space. Establishing a safe and supportive therapeutic environment is essential for trauma survivors to feel secure enough to explore their experiences. Building trust and empathy. Consistent, reliable, and empathetic interactions help build trust, which is crucial for clients who may have experienced betrayal and harm in past relationships. Providing validation and support. Validating the client's experiences and emotions helps reduce feelings of shame and self-blame. Support from the therapist provides a buffer against the distress associated with trauma. Conclusion. The importance of holistic and integrative approaches to trauma treatment is a fundamental lesson from Bessel van der Kolk's work in The Body Keeps the Score. Trauma affects individuals on multiple levels, physically, psychologically, emotionally, and socially, requiring a comprehensive treatment strategy that addresses all aspects of an individual's experience. By integrating body-focused, experiential, and alternative therapies, mental health professionals can provide more effective and comprehensive treatment for trauma survivors. A holistic and integrative approach recognizes the complexity of trauma and the need for a multifaceted treatment strategy that engages the mind, body, and spirit. Practices such as yoga, somatic experiencing, EMDR neurofeedback, mindfulness, creative therapies, and alternative therapies offer powerful tools for promoting healing and recovery. Additionally, the therapeutic relationship plays a crucial role in facilitating healing, providing safety, trust, empathy, and validation. By embracing a holistic and integrative approach, mental health professionals can offer hope and healing to those affected by the profound and pervasive impact of trauma. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the 5 key lessons from Bessel van der Kolk's transformative book, The Body Keeps the Score. Let's quickly recap what we've covered. Trauma is stored in the body. We explored how traumatic experiences are deeply embedded in the body, not just the mind. This understanding underscores the need to address physical aspects of trauma in treatment. The brain's response to trauma. We delved into how trauma alters brain function and structure, affecting areas like the amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex. These changes explain why trauma survivors experience a wide array of symptoms. The importance of body-focused therapies. We discussed the effectiveness of therapies like yoga, EMDR, and neurofeedback in helping trauma survivors reconnect with their bodies and process traumatic memories. The role of relationships and community. We highlighted the critical role that supportive relationships and communities play in healing from trauma, providing safety, trust, and validation. Holistic and integrative approaches to treatment. We emphasized the necessity of a multifaceted approach that integrates various therapeutic modalities to address the full impact of trauma on the mind, body, and spirit. These 5 lessons offer a transformative understanding of trauma and its treatment. They show how comprehensive and compassionate approaches can provide effective paths to healing. For more in-depth insights and practical guidance on dealing with complex trauma, we highly recommend reading The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. His groundbreaking work will offer you a deeper understanding of the profound impact of trauma and the various ways to foster recovery. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on mental health and healing. Until next time, take care and be kind to yourself.